Hello, I'm Dr. Daniel Ingram, CEO of Emergence Benefactors and member of the Emergent Phenomenology Research Consortium. And I wanted to talk about longevity and the relationship between longevity and what we call emergent phenomena and practices, which most people would call spiritual, mystical, magical, meditative, psychedelic, etc. effects and practices. I can understand the urge to live longer, to have your lifespan be extended by a variety of methods. And I would ask the question then, if one is successful in extending one's life, in what state of mind does one find oneself? With what ability to regulate one's attention or control the ability to perceive clearly what is going on in one's own heart, mind, and body and experience? To what degree do meditative and other emergent modalities enhance that ability, and to what degree these should be cultivated as a reasonable strategy for optimizing the happiness and well-being that one experiences, hopefully over a long period of time, if longevity efforts are successful. I would advocate that the study of emergent phenomena and the practices that help cultivate this may be a natural adjunct to longevity efforts, and that one can very reasonably anticipate that a life where one can regulate one's attention, have a skillful relationship to one's emotions, and perhaps have had some of the transformative healings and attentional upgrades that are routinely promised and reported today from emergent modalities and practices might be a very reasonable thing to spend time researching, supporting, and having a global clinical and mental health infrastructure that supports the development of, not only for yourself as you hopefully live a long time, but also for all of those around you who you might be living a long time with, to then optimize not only the experience of being yourself living for a long time, but also the interactions you have with others and the world that you all and we all are collectively creating. And so I make the claim that it makes good logical sense to think about the world of emergent practices and how the clinical mainstream might have a better understanding of promoting them, with helping to optimize for the positive experiences, for dealing with the challenges that are known to sometimes be created through meditation, psychedelics, and other related practices, and to have that scale in a way that reaches people everywhere, such that everybody concerned about longevity might share in the benefits, not only for themselves, but for the society and world they find themselves in, of emergent practices and their benefits having gone well and being well supported. Numerous practitioners and experiencers of emergent practices and phenomena over the years have noticed and reported that it can create important and beneficial transformations in the entire relationship to the sense of self and other, who one is, what this moment is, how time is experienced, how the sense of life is experienced, how the relationship to death is experienced, and to beneficially upgrade something in the fundamental existential relationship to all of the experience of this life. With that in mind, it obviously then might make some sense to explore and promote these sorts of practices based on the countless people who over the years have said that exploring these things and getting these sorts of transformations ultimately was a very good idea and extremely transformational of their relationship to the entire question of self, other, life, etc. However, it has also been noted that these practices can sometimes produce challenging experiences, confusing experiences, disruptions, or changes in the sense of self that might have taken some time to appreciate or integrate. And consequently, it is also beneficial to have a widely dispersed knowledge not only of how to promote them, but also to mitigate the possible challenges. And consequently, we advocate for a rigorous, thorough roadmap of how the clinical mainstream might have a vastly better idea of how to relate to these things, the good, the bad, and the strange that they can produce, to produce informed consent based on high-quality data of the risks, benefits, and alternatives, as well as also to scale globally a skillful relationship to these sorts of practices and the ability to promote them widely. Obviously, those thinking about longevity generally think of it as a way to promote an exceptional level of bodily health that is sustained for a long period of time. We simultaneously posit that emergent practices and the related phenomena and effects might also have the ability, as is widely reported across the millennia and cultures, to induce potentially incredibly beneficial states of heart and mind. And so this combination, we think, is likely to reduce more suffering and promote more happiness and take more full advantage of the longevity that hopefully will be created by practices and modifications, technological or dietary, lifestyle, etc., that may create a very long life. And in this way, we think that if one is banking heavily on long bodily health, it makes sense to expand one's portfolio of investment to also include the health of the mind, the health of the heart, and the health of the relationship to things like interdependence, society, community, the biosphere, kindness, wisdom, etc. And so we think that emergent practices, modalities, and the philanthropic support of their research is also highly likely to be beneficial from a broad portfolio and investment point of view. So I urge you, as somebody interested in the world of longevity, understandably, to think about how happiness might be improved, suffering reduced, and global situations optimized by the promotion of the research of emergent practices and their modalities. Thank you for listening to this promotional video for the research of Emergence Benefactors and the Emergent Phenomenology Research Consortium and its allies in the space. And if you are interested in giving to, promoting, or having a further conversation about how emergent practices might be right for you on your longevity quest, please reach out to us at info@ebenefactors.org. I am Dr. Daniel Ingram. Thank you for your interest in this, and may your longevity efforts be successful and salutary. Thank you so much. Bye.